Hello everyone, it is Saturday, September the 28th, and it is the feast of a number of saints, Saint Lawrence Ruiz and his companions, and Saint Wenceslaus. Okay, so first reading is taken from the book of Ecclesiastes. Continue with this book. Rejoice, young man, while you are young, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Follow the inclination of your heart and the desire of your eyes. But know that for all these things, God will bring you into judgment. All right, so I take from this, we think that what he's saying is do whatever you want. Just follow your desires and inclinations. It sounds like that's what he's saying, but he says, but know that for all these things, God will bring you into judgment. So when you put these things together, what I hear the author saying is, it's important that you enjoy life, but do so in a way that's in accord with God's will, because we're going to have to answer before the Almighty for everything that we do. So live a good life, live a virtuous life, follow the inclination of your heart and the desire of your eyes. That doesn't mean be licentious, doesn't mean be a glutton. We have to read Ecclesiastes in its whole sort of context. And he's not, encouraging us to live a life in effect of sin. But because why? But know that for all these things, God will bring you into judgment. So, in other words, your life should be one that you truly enjoy the good things of life, but do so in such a way that they're in accord with God's will. And this will be pleasing. This will basically lead to a happy life. And, you'll have nothing to fear when you come into the hands of the Lord. So if we go through the rest of the verses, it's basically a call to live a virtuous life, to live with the end in mind, which I bring up quite a bit, to remember we're going to go before God. So don't just, use this life as an earthly smorgasbord, taking out of it as much as you can, sucking it dry, and then being, somehow you're thinking the senses will be satiated. They're never satiated. They need to be disciplined, not satiated. Disciplined and kept in check. And then they will serve our true good, right? Okay, over to Luke, the Gospel, Luke chapter 9. When everyone was amazed, let's follow up from yesterday. While everyone was amazed at what Jesus was doing, he said to his disciples, he's going to ground them now, he's going to root them, that these words sink into your ears. The Son of Man is going to be betrayed into human hands. But they did not understand this saying. And further, a little further on, and the disciples were afraid to ask Jesus about this saying. You see, because they sensed at some level in their being that this was not going to end well. And they didn't want to hear about it. All right, out of sight, out of mind. You've heard that. Speak no evil, hear no evil, see no evil. But the evil still exists, right? The evil still exists. But it's a natural fallen inclination to not want to hear that, even in our own personal circumstances. Many people, they create echo chambers around them. Sycophants, I mentioned this a couple of days ago. They have people who just agree with them. Well, it's extremely poor. It makes for a poor leader. We need people around us, in effect, that will tell us the truth, and it's not pleasant at times because of our pride. But who's going to benefit more in life? Who's going to be a better leader? Someone who can grow based on not positive feedback, but the advice of others. Positive, I don't mean everything you're doing is great, but constructive feedback is probably a better word for it. So the person can grow, all right? So, we want, even though it goes against our inclination, we should want to hear difficult feedback as long as it's constructive, if it's honest, if it's well thought out, rather than, you just do an awful, horrible job and the guy moves on or the woman moves on. So there are difficult truths in life and we tend not to want to hear them, but this limits our potential growth. So when you detect that something is difficult, pray for the grace to be open to it, to embrace it. That's the way you and I grow. God bless you.